Welcome back, boys. Today we are again on Nasdaq. So today we had a nice run lower. So I wanna kind of go through my ideas from today's shorts as I got involved um, around the 8:36 candle, and I ran this short all the way through this Asia low, which is not even like half of the drop it did, but it's fine. I was not expecting like such a big drop, um, but it's fine. So let's go over the daily. So again, as I showed in my outlook yesterday, I mentioned that we were rejecting previous week low. I'm overall bearish till this inversion here and keep holding price lower. The fact that yesterday we had a pump, it doesn't mean that I'm wrong on my bias because my main and my favorite draw keeps being January low and maybe December low, which is a layered previous monthly liquidity after a big, nice rejection of these highs. So if today we close bearish and if we manage to go through this one, those are going to be our next targets. Also, check out how we are using now the new week opening up. So on the 4 hour, sorry for the parrot, he's actually speaking right now. So let me go on. So on the 4 hour, as we can see, we today we reached the daily level, which is where I start shorting from, and then we did a big strong push lower. What happened here? Well, in this framework, we have a sweep on the 4 hour, we have a candle closure, we have another raid, and we have another candle closure. So already with this candle closure, we could have anticipated a possible short into this 4 hour low, which was mainly my short, and reaching into these ones. And usually I leave a partial for lower prices. Today I didn't, so my bad on that. And also we do have an SMT coming with this high here, which it was a nice signature. But my favorite signature is the fact that the daily was not able to go. Well, the 4 hour was not able to go through the daily fair value gap, which then allowed you to have on also a new week opening up target. And now this could potentially has our interest to do something like this on the next days using the new week opening up. Anything above it, it would be just noise, because to me for shorting I need to be below the new week opening up to go through these ones. That would be my idea. Currently longs are still on the table, because if we do reject this area, then we potentially could turn around and continue higher, which is not probably high probability, but that's it's what I'm thinking. So if we go on the hourly, you already can see how this setup now is looking a little bit better. So what we had today, open of the day right here. So price was really in a premium price. Then we also had this busy, which was a nice reaction to the upside, but left a swing inside a fair value gap, which is a nice signature for liquidity. Not only that, but this is also Asia low. Now I want to really sorry for the parents. I want to show you the volume profile of yesterday price action. How this was aligning with the POC with the draw I had. So this was really a nice signature. Okay, let me say something to him. So here I'm back. Um, Again, so if we check out this, we do have an SMT. My main focus now is to understand this daily level can take us lower. Well, what happened today was we swapped this 1 hour high, we made a swing low, and this failed. Wow, why this failed? Because we had a big here, right? So this keeps going higher, and now we do have another sweep, but this time we close bearish, and this time we don't have anything here, only targets, right? So that was a nice signature. You can also see how we get a reaction from the low, we get a reaction to the high, and this was my main focus right now because I was looking for price to go lower. So now going over the lower time frames, we can see that this is the 15-minute, which had this Asia low, which was my overall target, and it had a nice favorite gap still open there, right? That was pretty much what I was looking for. Now, check it again. What we have here. This price going away, coming back inside the range, going here and failing. Which again, if you like to use the favorite gaps, we have a 15-minute inversion, right? So we can take this one. So now let's go on the 1 minute. So right now what I'm seeing, well, a thing that I like to do, which helps a lot of traders, is using the hourly candles. So if you take the 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., you're gonna have the 4-hour candle. If you make the hours, like separating the hours, you're gonna have, pretty much 1, 1, 1, 1. Yeah, okay. So what do we have here? Really simple. This is original accumulation, price displays. What it makes what? This is the first presented fair value gap of 7 a.m., which was also a discount CB. Sorry, BZ. Okay, so this was relevant. Why? Because when I'm taking the short here, I'm targeting this first, because this potentially could take us higher if price wants to keep going bullish. So here we have a hourly sweep. Price then starts shifting down, and it corrects here, giving a 22 model on the daily upper quadrant. Displays lowers, comes into the 15 minutes busy, which then give us a big strong pump. And already when I saw this busy, I was like, okay, now probably I'm gonna get a short here. Why? Because usually when price does these big pumps, usually if you are in premium, usually it's a fake out. So right now I'm gonna make this one in a different color so you can understand what's going on. So we do have a nice framework for a 4-hour candle to be a market maker sell model. As you can see, we have this, and this is pretty much a market maker sell model. So the framework was around, we had the daily level, we had our bias agreeing with everything. So if we were right on this trade, then this was gonna be our setup. So this is the setup I took. Okay. My stop loss was just above the daily fair value gap, which was my invalidation level. And here we go. So this is the entry on the inversion on the order block, which I got bad feel, so I kind of entered around here. That's what it takes. And this was our main draw, which was Asia. So as you can see, price inverse, that's the order block, spend a little bit time there, expands, price comes back, touch again the inversion fair value gap. And now at this point I have my stop loss trailed into the inversion, because now there is no real reason for price to go over the 50% of this inversion. Also, we reverse the 15-minute imbalance, where here. So when I see this, and then we have the 9 a.m. candle open, we have a quick stop hunt, and happens to be on the 50% of the 15-minute fair value gap, which also aligns with the CB. So we really had nice signatures of order flow right here. So this I did a video while I was taking the setup, and I was saying like, this CB could potentially lead for continuations lower, and ended up then using this for discount fair value gap as a catalyst for the price push on 930 lower. So very nice signatures of price action. Also, I was already knew that we had a regular trading hour open here. So when price open, we had the possibility of filling the 50%, which aligned with my target. So I ended up closing right here when we tapped the 50% for a nice 6R. Of course, I did close majority around here because this was my first target, and then we let the price do his thing for the lower areas. Then, after that trade, it was already 9:30, so we did trade a little bit early today. which is fine. Then we do have a big strong open, and this, when you say this displacement going over the regular trading hours is really difficult. The price comes back up. Also, if you go past 950, like it's really difficult. The price, you know, starts shifting to the upside. So what do we have? Price coming back in the range, fading, price making a CB, which is nice because everyone will go involved here probably. You know, put the stop here. They maybe got stepped out, but then price comes back, reverse this, making what reclaim the fair value gap, and then we have a nice CB, nice, very nice signature there. Could have also used this inversion for this entry, was very nice. And then continuation back into Monday first presented fair value gap to then take the regular trading hours low out, which, you know, if we click here, you find out that price already, you know, swapped these highs at the open, and then, you know, we had the sell side down there, and then we attacked previous day low on regular trading hours, which this is a completely different look. So if you don't check regular trading hours, I suggest you to do it because you're gonna find a lot of things there. So yeah, this was pretty much the trade I engaged today. I do have a recording, so I can share that with you to show you that I called that in real time. So let me see if I can show you. Good morning, cool people. Now we're gonna see if we can get any trade. The sweep we had. Okay, so let me see if I can find the video. So here we go. This is me shorting this market. You can see I'm opening my FTMO T4. So right now I'm already seeing price being a midnight open, New York open, riding above the first presented, well, technically just a fair value gap, which, you know, you see this week here, the rejection, and now I already know that I want to short this inversion fair value gap, which I'm putting my entry tool there to calculate the risk. I'm gonna skip over a little bit. So now you can see the part where I'm watching the regular trending hour gap, watching the first presented on Monday, and I'm already putting all of this in the play. See the Asia aligning with my jaw. See price being above it. I'm already know that this is gonna be a nice regular trending hour gap. See my Asia liquidity, all as a draw. And right now I'm looking for the trade. Just now I'm gonna be clicking the button. You're gonna hear it because I didn't record the MT4 window, but you should hear the moment when I click it. And then I'm gonna also show the monitor when I'm taking the setup. So it should be in a couple seconds because I'm watching the price tapping the order block and the 50%. And here we go. I'm clicking right here. Now we're gonna go over a little bit of, you know, here is the explanation of the trade setup. As you can see, sensibility around daily inversion level deriving from 50-minute imbalance, expecting 50-minute fail. Next row is 6 a.m. open, and let's see if we can take Asia out. So that was the plan. So I called break even there. My entry was up here, but now I'm gonna write down that I'm not gonna go break even here because I want to let the trade breathe a little. Price is really condensed. It's really hard to get a really tight stop lately because price is being really choppy, really big ranges also, which doesn't really allow you, like price goes down and then comes back with a big pullback, which, you know, it's things that you need to have in consideration while you're taking the setup. So right now I'm writing down, waiting for one more break. We don't want to destroy a good setup because of fear of rushing. Here you can see my setup, which, you know, is the same price level. Now with the stop reduced just above the inversion. Now let's go over, you know, it's gonna take 40 minutes to pass this one. So risky short, this is the last possible entry before a quick run. Why I'm calling that a risky short? Because this is a CB, which it's still 6 minutes for the 50-minute close. So if price wants to really go up, this is gonna be the inversion from where price is gonna run into. But if we are still bearish and we should still go for the 50%, this is a good opportunity. In fact, this to me was just scaling, but I didn't actually execute it. So right now let's go over it. So I'm showing how people could get involved in this setup. So right now we have the open, we have the sweep inside the 15-minute. The trade is still running. And now we have 6 a.m. getting tapped, which is partial 1. Now I'm gonna drag the stop loss there. Partial 1 taken, partial 2 on fair value gap discount, and then the draw being Asia low. So here we have all the management part of the setup. So now I'm trailing my stop just above this CB, which, you know, it's above 6 a.m. and I don't want to see price going over the first present where this CB here. We had a breaker entry here too for the scaling. Of course, you know, fair value gap in discount right now. And then we have the open. And now I'm taking another partial right there because it's the low of the daily FG. And then last partial is gonna go up 9:30 open because we have a regular trending hour gap, which is gonna be 50%, really kind of aligned with the Asia liquidity. So that was the last partial. Here we go. Here we go. Price tapping the jaw, and here was the limit for the SMT low. So yeah, nice trade. I hope you enjoyed the video, and have a great evening.